think from a very young age I was just sort of enthralled with the idea of motion and boats and cars and all sorts of things, but boats seem quite elegant and sort of perhaps a bit, when you're younger, something that you can't have. One of my early memories was when I was making a model of a boat. It was probably about 4, 5 or 6, I think, somewhere around that age. And when it went into the pond to float, it fell apart because I hadn't used waterproof glue. I progressed really from making small models and then into sailing when I was about 18. The jump probably came in a large way, I think, when I started racing on boats with a crew and other people. These were sort of 30, 40-foot yachts in Poole Harbour. And it just took it to another level, I think, and then really sort of brought me into the boat world. My daily runner is my van, the Transporter T25 pickup, which came from Sweden, and I'm also into other things. I have a Suzuki GS850, bobber, cafe racer, not quite sure where it's going, but it's a new project. If the bike's ready for next summer, which it should be, then I'm really hoping to get it to the RideClub Rally as my new ride for that year. I've always had big ideas, which meant that either you've got lots of money or you build things yourself. So building things myself was what came naturally, really. Boat number 1 came from Saint-Tropez. I was racing on super yachts there. I'd been invited down by a family that I was doing a restoration for. And looking around, I could see beautiful wooden boats, but still on deck with plastic tenders, which slightly annoyed me, I think, probably more than anything. And I saw just an opportunity perhaps to do something a bit different. I really struggle to draw my ideas onto paper. I mean, I can visualise them in my mind, so a great way for me to work that out is to actually build a model. It just gives a 3D visual to me in reality. The idea that I had with the model, and it was a visual idea, taking it to a naval architect, albeit a very good one, actually gave it some validity and made me able to get engineered drawings that I knew the product would then work and be accepted by the boat world. There's a lot of passion for me in cars and bikes as much as there are in boats. There's a lot of crossover with some of the things I'm building. Currently the boat nearly ended up with the saddle that's actually on my cafe racer. At the moment the design comes from classic race cars. I'm trying to hide the outboard, which is at the back of the boat, under a sort of hump, I suppose, and the idea is that some of the race cars used to have that hump at the back where your head would probably sit on the pad. It's quite an organic build for me because I kind of have a vision in my mind of how it's going to work, but then that has to relate to actually the physicality of how the engines go up and down and move around. So they do evolve, some things come and go, and even as it stands now, it may not actually look like that when it's finally finished. I love working with wood because it's a renewable resource. And very, very flexible, and there's a lot of debate at the moment about plastics in the ocean, so to me this just makes sense in terms of boat building. I mostly work with hand tools. I say hand tools, they are electric hand tools as opposed to big machinery. I do have a couple of big machines when I need to rip things down, but it's quite fine work, so in the end it just boils down to chisels and sanders and routers, that kind of thing. So when I build a boat, my clients are getting, as much as a boat, they get a piece of art that's been crafted by me for them, and I think that gives it something quite special. So this particular boat I'm actually building as a prototype. I'll keep this within the company, but the idea is that this is a 3.5 metre tender that would fit on such things as, say, sunseekers, fairlines, that kind of thing. Moving forwards from this, next year we've got a bigger version of this already planned and in draw, so this will just evolve into a family of boats, as I see it, really, around this sort of platform. It's a really exciting future for us.